Hi viewers, this is Salahuddin with lecture number 25 in the British History series. In the previous lecture we talked about the reign of George III, which we covered in all aspects, and today we will talk about the 13 British colonies in America or American colonies of England. How the England settled or established colonies in America, uh, who was there first, who established colonies in America. If we talk about the America, after her discovery in 1498, uh, they were poured in by the European nations, especially the Spain, France, and lastly England. After her discovery, Spain tried her best to establish her colonies in United States, in America. Eh, in America, uh, why it became the focal point or the target of every European nation. There were some significant features about the history of of America. Later on, we call it United States of America, but that time it is actually North America, the continent North America, which includes Canada, Mexico, and United States of America. But at that time, it was comprised of 13 colonies when it was colonized. There were some significant features about the America, which had become the focal point of every European nation. The number first was the weather pattern. The weather was quite moderate. It was very much suitable for the crops production, cotton, rice, and all other crops. Secondly, the native people of the America, they were very hardworking, and they could be easily enslaved, and they could be easily the work could be easily taken from them. And the third and most important feature of the America is the natural resources, raw materials, we can say. So raw materials were also in abundance, and even if we see in today's world, still the United States has the great production of oil. It is the great production of the other natural resources, and even if we see the the, the electricity they produce from the water or hydro electric powers. So still the water, they were fresh water we are talking about, they were in abundance, which could be used for the crops, irrigation, and other all purpose, even for the communication, where river could be used, taking materials from one part to the other part of the country. So those three, four, five vectors were the attractive features for the for the European nations. So when it was first colonized by Spain, and later on it became a hotbed for the France as well. But in the later part, when George, in the reign of James I, which we call it the reign before the Glorious Revolution starts from the 70s to 80s, and even up to 90s, 88. So in that reign, the Britishers or the English, they also started pouring in America. Even So mostly those of the English, they would go to America, who would not enjoy full freedom of full freedom of political full freedom in England. Enjoy. So those who could not enjoy full freedom in England, they would be sent to America. And basically, these 13 colonies of America are divided into three groups. The first one is the five southern colonies, four northern colonies, and four middle colonies. We will talk about each of them in detail and their significance. So, what is the importance of five southern colonies, and what are those areas which include in the five southern colonies? The first one is Virginia, the second is Maryland, and the third and fourth is North and South colonies, and the fifth is Georgia. So these five states, which are states now, were included in the five southern colonies. So when Virginia was colonized or built, so it was built in 1606 by London Company with the help of native slaves. So the people of this colony, the Virginia, they were enslaved, and with the help of those people, the Virginia, they were established or formed in 1606. Then the second is Maryland. During the rule of Charles I, Baltimore established this colony in 1632. Mostly English lived here, working in tobacco. So at the time of Charles I, whose reign starts from the 1648 and to 1660, in that meantime, Baltimore established this Maryland colony, and the people of this colony, they were working or dealing mostly in tobacco production. So those colonies of America, they were right from the very start interested in agriculture, agricultural products or agricultural production. Then the third and fourth is the North and South colonies. They were formed during the rule of Charles II, whose reign starts from 1660. Soil could produce rice and cotton. These North and South colonies, they were formed in 1663 during the rule of Charles II, whose rule starts from 1660 and onward to 1685. The soil of these colonies was very rich, and mostly this soil could produce rice and cotton. The fifth colony in the five southern colony is Georgia, which was established during the rule of Hanover period by James Oglethorpe. They cultivate land for rice production. So this colony was established after the Glorious Revolution in 1668, when the Hanover, which was a state at that time in the Germany now. So the James and the Hanoverian period starts from the 1668 with the coming of William III to the throne of England until George I. So in this period or this meantime, the colony Georgia was established. So the people of this colony, they would cultivate rice and they would cultivate rice for the meeting their needs. Then the second category is mm, the fourth northern colonies. Right. So this these northern colonies, they were consisted of small areas such as Massachusetts, Connecticut, and the people were hardworking, toiling land and making ships were their main occupation. Climate was moderate. So Massachusetts and Connecticut, these were the areas which included in the fourth northern colonies. The people of these colonies, they were very hardworking. They were interested in cultivating lands, and the people were very much hardworking, and they were toiling land and making ships, which was the main occupation of the four northern colonies. And the weather was very moderate, which was really helpful for the crops production and other agriculture products. Then the four middle colonies, they were arrested Dutch and 17th century. Climate was moderate, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware. So the four middle colonies, they were taken from the Dutch, who is now called the Holland. So those colonies were taken by the English from the Dutch or Holland, and in the 17th century, means onward 17. The climate, these colonies, they were really moderate and helpful for the crops production. New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware, they were all the areas included in the four middle colonies. So we talk about the feature as well as the colonies, northern colonies, southern colonies, and four middle colonies. This was the first lecture that we talk about regarding to the American War of Independence. In the next lecture, we will talk about the American War of Independence, its causes and its repercussions, and why the British failed, or in all other aspects of the American War of Independence, which would be helpful for the examination point of view. So this is the past part, which let's have a recap of this topic. After the discovery, Spain, and then France, and then England and James I, and so the people from the English who would go there, they could not enjoy the freedom, and in England, so they would be sent to America. And let me come to a very interesting point. A novel in the English literature, Tom's John, which is written and keeping in view these aspects, where a character, a female character, which marries 5 times in her life, even one time with her brother unknowingly, while her brother was sent to America, where he would work in the agricultural fields, toiling and working, cultivating lands where he was working. And in the same way, her sister was also sent to America, where unknowingly they would work in the same field, and thus unknowingly she married to her brother. So it's a very interesting novel, and some other time we will talk about in detail. So I'm coming to this point only from the novel, that how those and what kind of people would be sent to America. So the people who would commit crimes, the people who could not enjoy freedom, and freedom could be political freedom, social freedom, and economic freedom, and personal freedom. So when the king is there and ruling you, so definitely you cannot enjoy the full freedom. So restricting their freedom, thus they got fed up, and as a punishment they would be sent to America. Uh, right. So people who could not enjoy freedom, they would be sent to America, and then these 13 colonies are divided into three categories: the five southern colonies, four northern colonies, and four middle colonies. Then we talk about the five southern colonies: Virginia, Maryland, North and South colonies, and Georgia. And then we talk about the features of the colonies. What were the significant features of the northern, southern, and middle four colonies? Then we talk about the features of these colonies. So thank you so much for watching the video. And if there is any question regarding the topic, you must ask in the comment section. And we will try to cover all the important aspects which could help in examination. So thank you so much for watching the video.